Tim, you're doing such a good job. You're really doing a good job. How many cameras do you like having on your mat?
Oh, there's never enough. I'm a diva. I'm a diva.
We know, darling, we know. Hey, Anne.
Hello.
Well, here we are again, I guess. In the last couple of months, there have been a few changes, and in order for me to explain what happened, we need to back up the band a little bit. Welcome to Annapolis and another episode of What is Going On? Okay, everybody, I'll be honest with you. This video is completely all over the place because there is a lot, but there's also a lot of cool stuff, so I hope you'll bear with me. My first stop today is the boat that we spent the last 2 months building. I need to put on the vinyl stripe that we're gonna have at the bottom of the little boat. What is this? This is a little more messy than I wanted it to be. So we started building the boat on January 2nd of this year, and initially my plan was to continue to publish videos as we were building the boat, and I tried to do that. And for a lot of different reasons, it didn't work. And instead of feeling overwhelmed and being on the edge of burnout, I just decided that I was going to drop it completely. I didn't do it in the best way. I think that I should maybe have communicated a little bit more. And it's not only because I didn't really have the time to do that, it's because life has changed in ways that were very unexpected. And I had to let it simmer, let it brew before I felt like I could talk about it. But yeah, I'm super excited to start showing you this boat and the process of building it, because it is amazing. But I don't want to spoil it for you, so you're gonna have to wait for future videos for that. Actually, no. You know what? I am going to spoil how the little boat turned out. And for that, we can thank the sponsor of this video, our friends and now regular sponsors of the channel, Vessi. Because after months of work, we finally pre-launched the little boat this last week to try out and tune the electric engine. And no, little boat does not yet have a name. Stay tuned for our next video because I think I'm gonna ask you what you think about it. Anyways, you know what you want to bring when you ride a fast little boat in April in Maryland? Good water and windproof gear. So these are Ryan's go-to shoes, the Vessi Everyday Classic in color Daydream. And he attests, they are waterproof.
These are supposed to be waterproof shoes, and they were.
These days, I have been wearing my weekend Chelseas in shiitake brown when I want to keep the ankles warm. And for the days that I want to wear a classic white sneaker, I have been busting out my white Stormburst low top. Both pairs are slip-on, slip-off, completely waterproof, and let's be honest, they are a lot more functional and cuter than any boat shoes that you will find at your local chandlery, and especially if you're a woman. And I know, it's a hot take, I've just never been the deck shoe type of girl. So rain or shine, on a boat or on land, I'm a Vessi girl, and my socks stay dry. I've also really enjoyed my overcast jacket, which isn't only waterproof, super cute and versatile. The zipper is waterproof, and the whole jacket is lined with a super soft material, including in the pockets and in the hood. And if you've watched this channel for a while, you know that I'm a chilly girl, and digging my hands in those pockets when the wind picks up is the best feeling ever. So if you would also like to keep your socks dry and your hands warm when it is time to launch the boat this spring, head over to vessi.com/RyanandSophie for 15% off your order. Seriously, thank you so much, Vessi, for keeping us dry and warm this spring and for sponsoring our videos. Yay! Hello, Poesil. Long time no see, girl. How are you? You look nice. You look well. Ah, hello. That's a gap. All right. Oh, hello, girl. Wow, it's been a minute. All right. My trusty disco ball. Best thing to have on board, by the way. Why don't you have one? $10 on Amazon. Best investment you'll make. Anyways, back to the meat of this video and the reason why you clicked on it, because there have been some changes. If you haven't been on the channel for a while, this last year in 2023, Ryan and I tried to establish a home base in the city of Annapolis on the west coast of the United States, where we wanted to have a place that would be ours on land so that we could go sail to more adventurous destinations such as Greenland, Patagonia, or Japan, Alaska. The list is very long. And we have successfully achieved the plan in the sense that we now have a rental apartment and some furniture. As far as buying a house goes, I mean, if you know anything about the real estate market these days, it's not looking like it's going to happen anytime soon. But that's not the point. Let's talk about sailing for a minute, because in order for us to reach those more adventurous destinations, Ryan and I need another boat. The reason why is because Polar Seal is 40 foot. It's good for 2 people. We want to have a boat that allows us to have crew with us more comfortably, and Polar Seal is not that boat. This last summer, you probably heard me talk about how Ryan was working on a big project that would allow us to finance boat number 2. This project was supposed to be done by the fall, and the fall turned into the winter turned into the new year, and it was actually really difficult to manage sailing and Ryan's new work obligations. But we thought that once this project was done, we would have the budget to buy Polar Seal number 2. You can probably tell by my facial expression that at the end of January, in the 11th hour of Ryan finishing his project, it fell through. That happened at the same time as we were building the little boat and pouring all of our energy and our hours during the day into building the boat. In that, after this project fell through, Ryan had to take on much more responsibility than he used to in his company, Dakota Lithium, you know, the batteries that we have on board and that a lot of people have on board their boat. Ryan is a co-founder and until the end of January was the chairman of the board and the director of business development. And now he had to take much more responsibility. I asked Ryan if it was okay for me to talk about it, and he didn't want me to be too specific because we are still landing in it. And we still don't really know what it's going to mean for us in the future. And so for the last 2 months, it was very difficult for me to, talk about what we do because I have had no idea what we were doing. And as of today, I still don't quite know what it means for us in the future, right? So our initial plan this winter was we're building the boat. We were also going to go sail with friends of ours, Billy and Sarah, in the Bahamas on their new catamaran. But now that you know what's going on, you probably understand why that did not happen. This summer, I was hoping to go sail with the Ocean Research Project to Greenland on their annual expedition there. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I learned that this expedition may not happen this year, depending on some grants that the foundation applied for. Those are all the changes that we are currently going through. Okay, so Ryan, are you okay telling us what you do now?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it's been a hard time. It's been a few months now, and you didn't want to talk about it too much.
It was just like a very emotional time. We had this project we were working on. It fell apart at the last minute. That project was a 6-month thing. It was super stressful.
It was very intense.
Very, very intense.
You were working so much.
Yeah, I've never worked that hard in my life. And then it fell apart like literally at the last minute. And that was like a big bummer. So getting over that was a big thing. And then as a company, we decided to reorganize how we kind of are running the business. And that led to me taking on the role of CEO. Which was not expected either this year.
No.
So it was just a pretty hard, 9 months.
Yeah.
Exciting, but hard.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, we were doing this other project, you and I, here in town.
Yeah. It's been a weird transition because I think I've seen you having so much fun with your work. Mm-hmm. I've seen you loving your new responsibilities. But I've also seen you struggle with the fact that we're not on the boat anymore, and that we had to completely rethink our short-term plans for what the sailing life means for us.
Yeah, that's been like a big struggle for me, is that I really miss living on the boat and like all the adventures we go on. And so I've been having a pretty hard time adjusting to like what that looks like or what even our plans are. And we have a lot of plans that we've, I think, agreed on that we'll probably talk about later on, but it's just a transition period.
It's been a big adjustment. But I see that you love your job. I really see that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a challenge, but it's been a lot of fun. We have like this great, awesome team of people that we built over the years. And just working with them has been super, super cool. You know, I used to do most of my job just remote, but now I'm going to Seattle more often where our headquarters is. And so just to be able to interact with the people more regularly is just really fun.
Yeah.
And then we just have a lot of like fun development projects going on that still correlate very heavily with you and I having so much experience of living on a boat and working with boats.
And what you expect of batteries.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like cross collaboration, I'd say still. So that's still really fun. But yeah, it was not something I was anticipating for this year.
Yeah. What I've really appreciated too is that it seems like you really want to take care of the people.
Yeah, I live by this old adage. It was called the old Southwest Airlines adage that if you take care of people, they take care of the customer and the product, and then they take care of the shareholders.
Great.
And I love that philosophy, and it's really cool.
This is going on YouTube, and you probably have some employees watching. You okay with that?
Yeah, I've told them that. I've told them that. I really think that that's important, is that the number one thing to focus on is your employees.
That's awesome. So it means that you and I had to completely reinvent this chapter of our lives.
Yeah, and we're still working on that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've just landed. We've landed to the point that now you can talk about it.
Yeah, and I still feel a little overwhelmed with it. But yeah, we've just had, it's pretty typical of us that like we get a project going, a big project, and then 5 other things fall on our lap and we just keep going with it. And then I think we're both pretty like burnt out and tired at the moment.
I think we were.
Yeah.
I think that
it's coming back. And now that spring's here and stuff, like we're starting to get more energy.
Yeah. And we're going to be sailing this summer.
Yeah, it should be fun. In many forms.
Well, thanks for sharing. I think you're great.
Thanks, honey.
I'm very proud of you.
You too. We don't barnacle here. She's great too.
So it's been a doozy. We're landing in this new reality, which is not a bad one. By all means, I'm very happy with our lives. And you know, the worst thing that can happen this year is that we're sailing the Chesapeake, because while Ryan took much more responsibilities at work, our sailing lifestyle is something that we want to protect. So a couple of days ago, we decided that there was not going to be a polar seal number 2 this year, and we just need to wait and see what happens. I will be honest with you, it's been hard to digest. We were really projecting ourselves in something very different, and it didn't pan out. You know, we have a good boat, we have a good life, we have big dreams. And I think that in an era where we want everything to happen very quickly, I think that it's worth reminding yourself that when it comes to big dreams, sometimes what you need is time and money. And if you don't have a lot of the latter, then you definitely need a lot of the former. And I think that this is where we're at. A few days after recording this video, I got a call from my friend Matt telling me that the expedition to Greenland was definitely cancelled this year. But that if I wanted, I could join them on another expedition, this time around the Chesapeake, to study the presence of microplastics in the bay. Of course I said yes. I definitely want to come with you on your cool 72-foot boat and follow a scientific expedition. So I grabbed my pair of boots and my disco ball, and off I went. And that's how I found myself on board Mary Tharp. I was coming to have a look at the kitchen.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm
Actually, Matt is doing you a big present.
no.
He's washing everything, so everything's gonna be sparkling clean.
Why? Because it's not? Look at that.
So
Look at that.
all the cabinets, all the dishes, everything's gonna be sterile. Like it's gonna be, you can make an operation here, like
Oh.
change a kidney or something.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I see. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to come on board today was just to scope out the kitchen, because the way that I managed to get myself on board is by promising to Matt that I would do the cooking. So I'm just here to look at what kind of equipment we have at our disposal for those 10 days that I'm going to be spending here, and see what kind of spices or dry ingredients there's already, so that I can put together a little meal list, little meal plan, and go do some groceries. All right, so get spices, 5 burners, stove, pots and pans galore in this bag. There must have been drawers here. What is this? That's a trash bin. Oh, hi. Engine compartment. Then Costa showed me the sleeping arrangements. This is a big boat, you guys. Okay, so I think that we have bathroom number 1, bathroom number 2, and those are the crew quarters, which are actually quite nice. And I decided that this was going to be my bunk. Okay, so I was just done in the galley and taking pictures of the boat when Nicole came in. And Nicole is a very important person on this boat.
Yeah.
All right, so
Right.
what are we doing?
We are sampling across the Chesapeake Bay and the major tributaries, the rivers, for the amount of plastic particles in the surface waters. Now, every year, the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science and partners, they put out the Chesapeake Bay report card, and it gives like a health score or about various components of the Chesapeake Bay, like water quality indicators. Plastic pollution, microplastics, is not considered a water quality indicator. And we all know there's lots of plastics everywhere, all different sizes. We know it's harmful to marine life and human health, and we need to catch up. So we are doing the background research, the sampling needed throughout the entire Chesapeake Bay to help come up with the very first report card scores. So now we're going to verify the distribution of plastic particles that we have found, hotspots maybe, areas we would have expected to see more but didn't. This is all really going to be great guiding information for developing that monitoring program for plastic pollution or just marine debris in general. Microplastic can be an obscure word. It's like, okay, so small. Plastic, but what is the range? Does it matter? I mean, any plastic in the marine environment is like on its own is gonna cause
Problematic, yeah.
at some point.
That is so interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to dive in
Yeah.
and learn more about microplastics and how polluted the Chesapeake Bay is. Until right now, I had no idea what we were going to do, but now it makes sense. Guys, in the coming 2 weeks, I shall tell you the stories of microplastic in the Chesapeake Bay and life on this incredible boat. I'm gonna try to convince Matt to let me take over their social media over the course of the expedition. So I will link their accounts down below, and if you wanna follow the project and the expedition, well, come and join us. All right, guys. I think that Ryan is trying to call me for me to pick him up. I have to go, but I'll see you very soon.